Well, hello. I'm up here on Saturday. It's late Saturday because the weather's been bad. Seems like every time I can get out and get working on this, the weather's been horrible. So come up here to try to at least be able to get off the corroded housing on the Bobcat 331 where the thermostat housing is, and take a look at it. The parts are ordered, and I just probably have to wait another week before I get all the parts, but I'll try to show you what it looks like. You can see I have a hacksaw blade right here, and you can't, it's very hard to see, but way down there there's a stud. Well, that stud has a nut on it, and I can't get the nut off or this housing off because somebody decided to put the timing chain cover such that it covers over the hole for that housing. And so they put a stud and a little nut, and they give like zero tolerance. I mean, the stud has to be perfectly in flush with the nut in order to pull the housing out, but whoever put the stud in let it stick out a 1/4 inch. So it's impossible to take that housing off without completely disassembling the front of the engine unless I cut the stud. So I've been already for about a half an hour with this hacksaw going up and down, and I'm about halfway through. So another half hour, 40 minutes, I can cut off that stupid stud and get it, the nut off, and then remove that housing that has the corrosion through it, and then be able to show you the defect in that piece. Because that piece, the way it failed, is, to me, in my opinion, is a manufacturer defect. So this is not too bad of a setup, but I don't know who designed this, but it almost seemed like they specifically did things to make it more difficult to work on, because the things that are in the way could have easily have been redesigned so it wouldn't be in the way. And this is the old Bobcat 331. It's got a Kubota engine. I don't know what type of engine it is. I don't remember. So I'll get working on that and get back to you. Well, I'm still working on it. Been about since last weekend, this weekend, and working on it. I've probably spent about an hour on this stud. I'm almost all the way through, but I'll show you here. The hacksaw blade there only has about 1 inch of travel. I'm almost through, but it's not cutting as much anymore, so I got me a new hacksaw blade to finish the last little bit. But the weather here has gotten pretty nasty. It's raining. I got fog on me, and you can see just want to get it finished here, get the part off, then it's all cleaned up and ready for the new parts to come. So hopefully the next time the video, I'll have that part off and show you the issue with the casting. Well, the absolutely worst thing that could have happened. The nut did not come loose on the stud. The stud came out, and there is no space. If you see my light way down at the bottom down there, that nut, there's no way that stud can come out. And if it loosens up all the way, I can't even pull the housing out. I might have to just sit and spend another hour or an hour and a half cutting the stud behind the nut, and then end up having to replace it. But I'm going to have to figure something out better, because this is totally a bad design. There's no need to do this because that bolt needed to be there. It could have been moved farther back where it could have had a straight shot with a socket, or this assembly right here could have been rotated over to here, so you could have had a bigger open spot, and then this housing could have been shifted at least 1/4 inch, such that there would have been a reasonable amount of gap for replacement. So that's what I got going there. So I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to heat up the nut and see if it'll heat up enough that it'll come off the stud, but I've got to screw it all the way back down before doing that. So here's the issue. Here is the thermostat housing. It's got really thin material here, but look in there, it's fine. Nice, clean, not really much corrosion. There's a little bit right there. But here is the main issue. Look at this. And this one spot. And there's nothing, you know, the bottom's all nice, everything's nice. But right there on the top, it's just the housing is just eating away. This whole like area right here, this one area. And that is actually it's one of the thicker areas. It's like, it's amazing. It's just like a chasm just ate right through it, just in this one spot. No place else. I mean, if you look at the rest of the housing, it's like clean, and then you just look at this one spot, and there it is. So I'm thinking there was an issue with the metallurgy in this part, that there was a wrong composition in one area, and that was the area right there, and it just got it just was eaten out. Well, I was lucky. I managed to get out the stud with this without having to cut the stud a second time. But, because I had cut it off right flush, there was enough space that when it wouldn't come out really by itself, but it would come out with the housing. So I got to right back in here. You can see that's the area where I've got to put the replacement housing. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to call it a day. It's starting to rain really good and getting really cold. I was looking and all I could see was my breath when I was trying to shine the flashlight down on the machine. And I'll turn the camera around and show you what I'm working in right now. Luckily, what was nice about that Bobcat is the hood makes a nice little rain cover for me to work. So when I'm leaning in there, at least my head wasn't getting all wet. But it is all foggy and rainy and everything now. So I'm gonna have to call it a day. So hopefully the weather will be better tomorrow. Hopefully. So, we'll get back to you on my next video. And you can subscribe, like, everything to help me would be totally awesome. So, everyone have a great day.